Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our webinar of today. The webinar of this afternoon is about the CEN Working Group Consultation tool that has been put in place recently for you. This presentation is therefore in particular of interest for all persons drafting standards for CEN TCs, of course. So if I'm not mistaken, on the next slide, there is a little slide introducing myself. My name is Els and I will be moderating the webinar in the background, which also means that you're all muted during the presentations. Muted means that you cannot speak out loud, but you do have the possibility to enter your Q&A, your questions in the Q&A panel of this Zoom webinar. The speakers will then take a moment to look at your questions and answer as many as possible. Should your question remain unreplied today, please don't worry, because we intend to make a Q&A report available afterwards. You will be informed when that is available. Please be informed that we are recording this webinar, so you will have the possibility to listen back and consult the slides later on. You will also be informed when that is available. So without further ado, let me introduce my colleague Carolina Müller, who is here for you to introduce you the tool. So please, Carolina, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Els. And I'm sorry for a rough start. Flipping off the slides didn't seem to work very well. But yeah, that's me, Carolina. I'm the so-called product owner of the new CEN tool. So I'm going to briefly introduce you to the basics and functions and the path to a new consultation, which is then followed by a live demonstration to visualize it a little bit better. So first, we start with the purpose. It is an easy and quick way to have the working group to consult on working group related matters, which should simplify the work of the experts, promote transparency, and promote transparency on the working group level. It is meant for secretaries and conveners to create the ballots into consultations, and for the working group members to contribute and submit their written advice. The roles are defined according to the ones defined in the global directory, and the conveners and secretaries will be able to cast votes on behalf of working group members, but not on behalf of themselves. They have the roles to create those types. And here I put a disclaimer on what it is not. The description consultation has been chosen deliberately to distinguish the tool from the other forms of balloting, because it's not an actual ballot, so no decision can be taken by this tool. Not the decisions still remain with a technical committee level, and the working group can form a written advice or recommendation to the technical committees. And then here we start. So where to find it? It's the CEN Electronic Applications homepage, or it's very easy for the working group members to access it through the working group homepage. And in the e-balloting portal, you can find it on the bottom. It is nicely distinguished in yellow because it is not a ballot, but a consultation. If you want to know that a little bit deeper, there is the link to the guide, the user guide, which is much more detailed on this presentation. So this can help you to answer questions which might arise afterwards. But if you have further questions, there are contact links for content-related issues and also a help desk link for IT-related issues. And now we start to create a new consultation on the first page, where you find the all open consultations. On the top right corner, there is a button called New Consultation. You just have to click it and will be directed to the next page, where the first step is to select a working group where the consultation will be taken. Then it is necessary to enter all information. It is a reference, title, opening, closing date, and note, where the reference as well as the opening and closing date is the mandatory information. And if more information is needed, an explanation to the reference, that would be the title. And if you would still further need information, a note can be drafted here on the bottom. Just for some examples, the type of consultations can be on the next working group meeting date, on a draft document, or opinion about additions to the work program. So anything is possible. You can even ask for the food preferences for a social dinner, for example. So up to your imagination. Then the next step is to create the questions and answers. So it can be one, it can be more, where you have to click on the lower left button, add question, and then add an answer. The possible answers is also what you type in. Yes, no, agree, disagree, and the questions or what is appropriate. It can also be a number or a length or whatever it is asked in this consultation. Then if more than one question is needed, you just click the button add question, and you can add as many as you want. And they can be deleted or rearranged after the creation of the questions. So making the first one the second one and vice versa. The last step would be to choose the type of answer. So the answer can be here, it is yes or no. This is what I chose. That is still open what you put in, but the type of answer you can choose for no comments, comments optional, comments required, using template, not using template. So there are many variables making it easy to create the consultation you would like to have. And if reference material is needed, is wanted, this would be the last step. Any links or documents can be added by clicking this link, which is if you want to have comments on a draft document, this is the place where you would add the draft document. And that was basically it. Now I hand over to my colleague Tamara for a live demonstration. And meanwhile, I start to answer questions in the Q&A.
Okay. Actually, one question came in already, but Tamara is indeed our IT consultant working for CEN Elec, has answered that question already. So thank you very much, Tamara. And thank you, Carolina, of course, for going through all the specifications. And then please, Tamara, the floor is yours, because Tamara will show you a bit in demo style what the application is about.
Yes. So, so first of all, I'm going to show you, visually showcase this new function. And what I'm going to do is first show you how to create a consultation. So I'll have a convener's view, and then I'll change my window and I'll show you what a voter's view looks like. So first of all, you need to access to the WG Consultation. So for that, you go to the CEN portal and you click on Ballots on Draft Standards. You go to the bottom of the list and you will see the working group consultation. So here I need to accept the terms and conditions. And I land on the, and now I'm on the landing page. So I will see all the working group consultations which are open, in which I have a role. So what we have at the top, we have a few functions. I can see all the ones which are open, the new ones that were created in the last 2 weeks, the ones which are closing in the next 2 weeks, the ones which are closed in the last 2 weeks. And then I also have a search function. And here I can enter criteria to help me look for a specific working group consultation. So I can choose the status, if it's been open, closed, its reference, which working group it concerns, or by opening date and closing date. Then maybe something useful, we have up here on the right, we have tools here. And you have different options. You can either click on the balloting portal. It will take you back to the balloting portal. go back to the landing page, go directly to the search. It'll also go to send documents. I just want to remind you, I'm in the test environment at the moment, so that's why you see test. You can manage your roles and log out. And also on the help, this will take you to the user guide and the contact for the help desk. So now I will go back. I will select a consultation. So let's take this one to see what it looks like. So we have 3 tabs. We have the information, and here is where I can see all the metadata. Then below it is where I would attach my reference document if I have one. And then as a convener or secretary or assistant secretary, I would see all the comments and answers. Beside the information tab, we have the participation. So this is where I can see who are the actual people who voted or who casted an answer. And then the audience is the list of people who have access to this consultation. So yes, now I will go back to my landing page, and I'm going to create a consultation. So for that, I go to the right and I open new consultation. As I said, in test environment, I have the import, but you will not have the import in the production. So I click on working group consultation. I select the committee. So I'm going to take the 602 working group 1. Here I need to fill in the metadata. So I write in the reference, for example, then I put a title. Now for the opening date and closing date, the opening date is by default the day after you create this consultation, but you can change the date. Like I could put this to the, let's say, next week. And the closing date is by default plus 12 weeks, but you can change it too. So I'll put it to a week after. Then if I have any notes, I would write them here. I click on next. Here is where I fill in my question. So all you have to do is write your question. Here is where you could put your different answers. So let's say no. You can choose, there are 3 options here, either no comments allowed, or the comments are optional, or they are requested. And for the optional and requested, you have a choice between either using the CEN commenting tool or the HTML window that will pop up. And if you need to install the CEN commenting template, it's described in the user guide for the working group consultation. So let's say no comment for no. I'll add an answer. I put yes. Here, let's say I want optional comment. And then I'll add abstains. You're free to write whatever you want. Comment optional. And then here I would add a question. You do the same. Okay, and now you create your consultation. So it'll always ask you to click OK. So now your consultation is created. If you have a document you want to link to this consultation, then you click on the little arrow. You can choose either to upload a document, or you could add a link. So for this example, I will choose a file from my desktop, and then upload, and then finish. Okay, so my consultation is now ready. What I wanted to say is if you need, let's go back to the all open. If you have the same questions that occur on a regular basis, what you can do is clone a consultation. And for that, you go on your landing page, you select the consultation where you know you need the same questions, and you click on the arrow, for example, here, and you clone this consultation. And what it'll do, it'll create a new consultation, but keep the same questions and answers. What you will have to do, however, is fill in the metadata. Voila. And now I will show you the view from a voter, so a member. So the same, I need to go to the CEN portal. I go on ballots and draft. I go down here, working group consultation. Okay, and here now I'm going to select a consultation. So you see here, I only, as a member and voter, I only have the information tab. So what I do now is I go to the right, submit answer. And here I select, so do you have any comments? I select one of the answers I chose. I write yes. I can here I can upload a file if I have comments, and then I submit my answer, and this is it. Now, once the ballot is closed, voters cannot vote after, I mean, logically, they cannot vote after once the ballot is closed, the consultation is closed. However, the convener or the secretary or assistant are able, once the consultation is closed, to reopen a consultation and vote on behalf of a member. And then what's important is to remember to close the consultation once he or she has voted. And then if I go back to my main page, actually, no, I want to show you the results. Then I go back here and I will look for consultations which are closed. So I can show you what the results looks like. And here I have the information. I can see the participations, the answers, and then I go to the results tab. I have my results down here, and I can download as a zip file this exact same page. And I think I've given you the basic information. So thank you.
Thank you, Tamara, for this interesting demo. I hope it helped people to find their way. Carolina has been answering some questions in the meantime, but we still have some open questions. So maybe 1 minute to go through that. So please, I ask the attendees to bear with us, and then we, or you, at least Carolina, you can formulate maybe an answer to these questions. While doing so, maybe I can launch the poll because I would like to ask all attendees to reply 3 questions. It's a short poll giving your feedback on this webinar. So it's a shorter webinar than we usually have, but please take a moment to answer the poll, and the answers will be used to improve our future webinars. So thank you. Tamara, I see that you are indicating you want to reply the question of Stella.
Yes. So wait, Stella. Yeah. Wait. Where is- You need, so Stella, sorry, you need to click on the finish. It's only once it's finished that it'll appear on your landing page. And also don't forget that it'll appear on the landing page on the date, like if I looked now, it wouldn't, like if I create a consultation today, since the creation date is +1 day, it'll only appear the day after. Then so Paul, maybe what you could do is send us a screenshot so I can see what you see, because it's a little bit difficult for me to understand what the issue is. Then we have a few questions. So Angela, I have a meeting with the ISO team, so I will ask them about when they plan to do it and see if it's a possibility for us to add this to promote the transparency. Yes, so Daniel, when you clone a consultation, basically it only clones the questions and the answers. Everything else you'll need to add. It will be empty anyway, so there's nothing to change. You'll just need to add the metadata. How long? That's a very good question, Anthony. I will get back to you when I'll get back to you about the closed ballots. I have a feeling they changed the rules not so long ago. So that's a good question. I see Carolina is answering, okay?
I'm answering as well.
Okay. Yes, so Peter, so when a consultation or a ballot is created, you receive an email. 4 weeks before the closure of the consultation, you will receive a reminder in case you still haven't casted an answer. And then you'll receive another notification 1 week before the closure of the consultation. And then once the consultation is closed, you'll receive a confirmation email. Oh. Paul is, so I don't, no, you'll have to write, I'm sorry, Paul, you'll have to write to us so I can have a look. So all the people, if you have working group member role, you will be assigned a voter role in working group consultation, and then you'll be able to cast an answer. So I'm answering to Alexander. I hope I've understood your question. If not, let me know. Few people. So let's see. So